Hello and good evening, everybody. It is your boy Jake, and I am coming at you with my reaction to the Minnesota Vikings first round draft pick. So, the Minnesota Vikings select Garrett Bradbury out of North Carolina State, and for what I've been hearing and from what I've been seeing, he's a versatile offensive lineman who played mostly center at North Carolina State, but he can play some guard as well, which will be kind of crucial since the Vikings could really use help at guard, especially considering that moving all of your offensive tackles to guard rarely ever works. Uh, we've been running that experiment far too long, so it's nice to actually pick up someone who can, solidify either the center or guard position, which would be nice, especially with Pat Elflein. But like I say, it'll be interesting to see just kind of how Spielman, Zimmer, Kubiak, our offensive gurus kind of pawn everybody, because I've been hearing, rumors that are we going to keep Reef on the left tackle? Are we going to move him to right tackle? Will Bradbury be the center? Will Elflein move to guard? Will Elflein be center while Bradbury's guard? Are we going to go after some more linemen in the draft? Which I kind of hope so. Especially for Jawan Taylor. That was probably one of the more surprising picks because he's still available. And he was projected to go like 7th overall. So, interesting to see if he's still available at us tomorrow for our second round pick, which will be the 18th pick of the second round. And with all that being said, moving forward here, I'm really excited to see just how the revamped offensive line will look, because if we can keep getting more offensive line help to help solidify a position that was desperately, severely lacking in talent last year, whether it be due to injury or just, I don't know if the scheme, if the death of Tony Sperano really ruined the chemistry or what the case was, but all I know is it has to be a lot better than it was last year, especially since we don't really have a mobile quarterback in Case Keenum. And honestly, even going back to last year, I think that's why DeFilippo didn't really work out, because he was running more of a RPO style offense with a quarterback that really isn't an RPO quarterback. I don't know if you've noticed this, but Kirk Cousins isn't the most mobile guy in the world. I mean, he has decent legs when needed, but for the most part, his game is more in the pocket and get the ball down the field. And with the offensive line we had last year, well, that worked about 50% of the time. Because our offensive line, as I've said many times, and as many Vikings fans have said, our offensive line was Swiss cheese, to say the least. So, if we can shore up that position, get Dalvin Cook moving again, get a good running game going, of course, unleash Thielen, Diggs, with our slot receivers, as well as Rudolph. And it'll also be interesting to see if we actually pick up some more offensive linemen, as I said, tomorrow in the second and third round draft, to kind of sprinkle in. Well, the defense, like how many more positions on defense are we going to try to go for? Are we going to try to maybe pick up a late round cornerback? Especially since Holton Hill will be suspended for the first 4 games due to the substance abuse policy. And then, of course, Anthony Barr coming back to us after initially signing with the Jets, but then basically rescinding his offer and coming back to the Vikings. That'll be crucial. Him and Barr back together again. Well, Barr and Kendricks, I should say, back together again. Kind of interesting to see how all that's going to work. Also, Sendejo being gone, and Anthony Harris officially becoming that starter after signing his RFA tender. So yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of questions we have going into the later rounds of the draft, as well as going into OTAs, training camp, and then preseason. So yeah, in Kubiak and in Zim we trust, and thank you, Spielman, again for not drafting another first-round corner. So with all that being said, I am very pleased with this first round, and until we meet again, this is Jacob signing out.